This video is almost an extension of my last video where I mentioned my plans of escaping corporate America by looking at other countries such as in Asia for when AI takes my job. So many companies are making a push to AI, including the company that I work at currently, where my success is being measured essentially by how many jobs I can replace using AI. Now, I made it sound more direct, but that's essentially what my team does and what my entire department does. When I speak to my manager or other leaders within the company, our purpose is to make other jobs more efficient and even automate jobs that we no longer need a person to do. If it's something that's so manual, we can easily replace them with AI using automation. And that's the success that we're measured upon, is how efficient our software is to speeding up workflows and to completely automating workflows if possible. And I have seen the effects firsthand, and I know people within my department have seen the effects firsthand as well for the stakeholders that they're building features for. Our software is helping people just make their job easier and automate a lot of workflows already. So once we deliver big features or huge initiatives, there's always conversations about, can we start reducing team sizes, or how many hours are we saving? And if we're saving enough hours and leadership sees that we're saving 100 hours for this team to do a certain task or a certain workflow, there's conversations about shrinking that team. And it's always an awkward conversation to have with leadership. So to set some context, I work for an e-commerce company where my team specifically builds e-commerce software that other companies can integrate with. And the way that the company is structured is that there's a parent company at the top of the organization that I work for, and there's many smaller companies underneath us that we own. And specifically what I manage is the promotions tool used by these smaller companies to be able to create, scale promotions, run analytics across their promotions for their e-commerce sites and e-commerce operations that they're doing. And at a high level, each of these child companies that we own has their own tech stack of how they're managing their e-commerce operations. And we're trying to consolidate that by building a single product that all these child companies can use and integrate with. It's a very typical migration of legacy systems to new systems, which I feel like a lot of companies do every so many years just to move off of like old tech stacks to new tech stacks. Since the product that I manage is the discount tool that all the marketers use to go in to create the discounts that they need, I was tasked earlier this year to understand how each of the marketing teams are structured at the companies that we own and to figure out, can we just consolidate them? Are we able to just handle a lot of the operations that they do at the top level of the entire organization? So I had to understand what each marketing team did, what each marketer's role and scope of responsibilities were, what the average team size was, and essentially what was the output? How many dollars were they pushing with these promotions? What kind of promotions were they launching? And how often are they creating new marketing campaigns and things like that? So I really had to become a marketer in a way to understand how they work, what do they do, what kind of analytics they run, and bring that back, and how can we build that into our software, and essentially how can we automate a lot of those jobs. And our leadership has made it clear that they want to consolidate things at the smaller companies that we own, where we don't want teams that are hyper-focused on a specific company that they're running operations for. We want to be able to bring those operations back up to the parent level if possible, and just run smaller teams, tighter teams that are managing a collection of the companies and just making things more efficient. So not just me, but everybody within my department, we've been meeting with stakeholders and just understanding how and what features that we need to build to be able to make a lot of jobs automated and really just speed up processes. But with my role in particular, I had to meet with the different marketing teams at these companies to understand the marketing functions that people were doing, and if they were hiring any new marketers to come on board, what those people were expected to do and what functions that they needed help with. So some of the stuff that I found out was like, they had dedicated people to come up with new marketing campaigns that involved discounts. So what kind of discounts they wanted to run and what time of the year and what kind of like hypothesis would they come up with regarding these like discounts that they would run. And then you would have people that create these campaigns and create these discounts within the software that we have. So more of just like data entry of just modeling the discount, setting what zip codes, what states that you would want it to run in, things like that. And then you also have the people running the analytics on how the discounts are performing, how many discounts were applied, different cities or different states, and what kind of discounts are more effective, and running demographics, just any analytics or metrics that you can think of they're just pulling data either through like SQL or through other like business intelligence means of pulling that data and putting it into an Excel sheet, running some formulas, and exporting it out to like a PowerPoint, for example, to give PowerPoint slides and presentations to like leadership, for example. The first thing that we went after to automate was the data entry aspect of things. We knew that we didn't need dedicated marketers to just create discounts and model discounts all day and just being, told what to do essentially. You can tell AI what to do. So that's exactly what my team did. We built an assistive AI tool that allows you to prompt and talk to ChatGPT essentially in order to create these discounts. How the discount should be modified, how it should be handled, what kind of state or zip code, or if it's like a national campaign, where is this promotion running, what time is this promotion running, and we'll figure it out from the prompt what backend calls we need to make and what data that we need to modify to model this promotion. And essentially, once we create the promotion, we can present it back to the user, have them verify it one last time, and do a quick glance. So instead of spending an hour of manually creating this discount, they're able to just create a prompt and then just being able to have like a 10-minute check to make sure that the discount was created correctly. And with the same AI tool, we were able to automate a lot of the analytics functions as well. So like if you wanted to know about the discount performance or how many times a discount was redeemed in a particular state, anything, we can get that from the prompt. Since we already have hookups to data lakes and where all this data is being stored, we're able to just create parameterized SQL queries from what's being asked in the prompt, and then just being able to retrieve that data on the back end. And then once we pull that data, we're able to just spit it back out in a CSV format to the marketer. And then from there, they can put it back into Excel and create pivot tables, clean up the data any way that they need to. And the thing about my company as well is that we have a ChatGPT Enterprise Edition. So if you're using our AI tool, you can also just open up ChatGPT later on in your own machine, and you're able to essentially provide ChatGPT, the data that you have from the CSV, for example. If you need to create, let's say, a PowerPoint slide, ChatGPT, we have all the graphics, the PowerPoint layouts, presentations, the formats. It's all configured within ChatGPT. So you're able to just say, create a formatted PowerPoint presentation with this data regarding this specific, discount marketing campaign. So a lot of this stuff is being automated now. So it really is getting to the point where a lot of these jobs are just a lot quicker, a lot faster. We don't need, these huge marketing teams at every single one of these companies like we did in the past. Things are just being sped along now. And the results are crazy. The marketing teams at the companies that we own, they're shrinking. I visually see them getting smaller. And our leadership at the parent level organization, we've created a new marketing team and a new marketing function at the very top of the organization. So this team that we stood up, their job is just to standardize and assist the marketing teams at these companies that we own. How do they be more effective? How do they run campaigns? And how do they use our software to be more effective at the different campaigns and discounts that they're trying to launch? And it's crazy that it's all happened within 2025. Things have changed so much this year, and it's mind-boggling to see it happen in real time. And it's not just my team doing this. There's a lot of other teams in my department, like I mentioned, that are working with their stakeholders to figure out how can we make operations more efficient. And I'm sure that they've seen it firsthand and have the same experience as me of just seeing the teams that they've initially asked questions, initially built features for, and communicated when new features were delivered. Those teams are shrinking as teams have been familiarized with the software that we've delivered and how can they automate it now. So times are changing fast. And it's crazy seeing all the reorgs and the AI transformation taking place in front of your eyes. That's why I'm nervous, and I think AI has the potential to replace a lot more jobs in the overall workforce as companies are learning how to use AI to reduce the reliance on human workers. I feel really bad, and I feel guilty that my management has tasked me to figure out how to reduce marketing functions that we once hired for, and it's mainly me speaking to these marketing teams individually, bringing that information back, and that's how we shape and prioritize the features that we build for our product. And I'm unsure what the future of the job market holds, but I can see the layoffs and AI developing firsthand in the corporate space. And pushing this laid off talent with a combination of new grads trying to enter the workforce all into competition together for the limited number of jobs out there, it's a rough market out there.